Hi, so today we're talking stretching. Now, most people need to be more mobile, more flexible in one way or another. It depends on your lifestyles, your age, so many different things. But flexibility is a big key to staying injury-free, to be able to live your life without pain and discomfort, and to reach the best performance. So, in order to stretch, one of the key things is you have to remain relaxed. If you're doing a stretch and you're pushing so hard into it that you're almost shaking, then the stretch receptors in that muscle will fight back against you. That's what that shake is, they're fighting you, okay? If you're pushing it so hard that it's fighting, you're not going to increase your flexibility. So relaxation is the first key point. In with that, don't go too far. So when you're stretching, you should always push to a level of discomfort, okay? So you know that you've reached your easy end range. You then need to relax into that position. I'm going to go through a couple of different ways that you can then stretch, but point of discomfort is important rather than pushing further so that there's either pain or again that shaking, because the muscle will just be grabbing on and stopping you from doing that. And thirdly, we've got posture. You need to think about the way that you're sitting, you're standing, your general whole body posture whenever you're doing your stretch. Because if you're forgetting about your posture, quite often you'll be stretching the wrong part. All right, I'm going to give you an example with hamstrings. Okay, hamstrings are a key area that can affect the lower back. They can obviously affect the hamstrings and areas surrounding calves. Now, I'm showing you on a bench. You can do this on your sofa, you can do it on your bed, you can do it by putting two chairs beside one another. All right, so turning sideways on. I prefer this stretch to the one where you're sat on the floor, because allowing this leg to drop down means that rather than it being the lower back that's of focus, it should be the hamstring. So you need that foot to be raised, the leg to be straight. Now, a key thing when you're stretching your hamstrings, make sure your kneecap is relaxed. If you can't move your kneecap around, then it's probably that you're tensing it and you're not in that relaxed position that we've already spoken about being really important. So you need to relax it down, have the leg as straight as you can, sit back further if you need to, because the more you lean forwards, the more it's going to stretch it. Toe up rather than ballet toes, because we want to go right the way around, stretching the full area. Okay, so toe up, but staying relaxed. From here, you're then going to reach forwards, but do not hunch. What we said about posture, don't collapse, otherwise it's the back or your nervous system that you're immobilizing. So we want to get your chest coming forwards. All right, all about that posture. You can reach your hands down if you find that helps you, but again, you don't want to be stretching your upper back. You want to be pushing your chest forwards so it's coming around the back into that hamstring that we're stretching. So now I've reached my point of discomfort. Now, as I say, there's a couple of different ways to stretch once you're here. Number one is you just relax, and you relax in this position. Now, they always say the minimum is 8 to 10 seconds. That's because you've got a protection mechanism in the muscle that will hold on for 8 to 10 seconds. If you just stay at your point of discomfort, after 8 to 10 seconds, it will start to release. So you can just take a nice breath in, stay in this position, breathe out, and just go a very tiny bit further, and then pause again. Okay, again, hold that for 8 to 10 seconds. And after another 8 to 10 seconds, take a nice breath in, breathe out, and just go a tiny bit further. Okay, and then hold that there again for another 8 to 10 seconds. And then ease your way out of the stretch. Okay, so you've done about 30 seconds in total. This is the best form of stretching to do after training, in your cool down at the end, to try and start increasing the flexibility of that hamstring. Okay, I'm going to go around to do the other side now, even myself out. But I'm going to show you a different form of stretching. This one is now PNF stretching. Okay, so again, I get to that point of discomfort. Relax kneecap, toe is up, shoulders are back, I'm not hunching. Okay, now I've reached that point of discomfort. Rather than just relaxing there, I'll relax there for a short period. Then I'm gently going to imagine that I'm straightening my whole leg down into the bench. Okay, so I can feel my heel, my calf and my hamstring all very gently pushing down into the bench. Can do that for anywhere between 3 and 5 seconds, and then take a breath in, breathe out, relax all those muscles, and just let the chest come very slightly further forwards. Okay, now stay relaxed for about 6 to 10 seconds, and then we'll do the same thing again. So now I'm activating, I'm pulling my whole leg down into the bench, but only gently, okay? This isn't a maximal contraction. I'd say it's about 20% contraction, only very gently. What it's doing is it's switching on the hamstring so that now when I take a breath in, I breathe out and relax. It relaxes and it allows that protective mechanism to switch off and allows us to go slightly further into the stretch. Again, on this side, we're going to do this 3 times. So I'm relaxed, but now I'm going to gently activate that muscle, pull my leg down into the bench. 3, 2, 1, take a breath in, breathe out and relax. And then just relax there for a moment. Okay, and that produces a really good stretch into those hamstrings. So both of those are what we call developmental stretches. They're trying to increase the length of the muscle. I didn't push to a point that was painful. I didn't push to a point where my muscle was shaking and resisting me. I just eased my way in. I made sure that I relaxed for long enough for the muscle to start switching off again before I went back into the next phase. And I followed that rule of 3, okay? I did it 3 times on each. Now, if we're really trying to increase the range of movement in the hamstrings, I would repeat that 2 to 3 times, depending on the time you have available and how bad these things are, okay? So pick which style you're going to do, repeat it 3 times in each set, and then do it 3 times through. So I would do one side, the other side, and just go back and forwards and do that up to 3 times. Okay, so that's an example of the hamstring stretch using just the relaxation method and using PNF method, which is using that activation and relaxation, activation, relaxation. Okay, you can do that with loads of different muscle areas, but hopefully that's given you a little bit more understanding into stretching and the ways that we should do it.